Good morning. So, I've been thinking about this concept of vulnerability, and a lot of the leadership books that are coming out now will tell you that vulnerability is one of the most important aspects of being a great leader. But if you look in the dictionary, vulnerability says that you are susceptible to emotional or physical attack. And the synonyms are helpless, defenseless, weakness. So that doesn't really make sense because I don't think a leader should be helpless or defenseless or weak. So I was thinking about this, and there are a couple of different types of vulnerability. So there's the weak kind of vulnerability, and there's the strong type of vulnerability. And I think it's really important to delineate between the two. If we're coming from a place of weakness and we are vulnerable, that means that we are not shored up, we are not strengthened. And so what that looks like is we cover things up because we don't want to be vulnerable to someone else's story about us, right? So we cover up, we put on hair and makeup to cover up our flaws. We put on certain types of clothes to cover up, Spanx and everything else, right? Emotionally, we can be defensive. We can put on a happy face. We can be positive. We can be, the cheerleader in the room. We can walk in the room and own it. But really what we're doing is hiding. Perfectionism is a really big indication of when we are hiding ourselves. Like we don't want people to know the real us. We don't want people to know what's on the inside. A strong type of vulnerability, on the other hand, and what they're talking about in the leadership books is owning who we are, being comfortable in our skin, and then being open enough to say what we need. I'm feeling really burned out right now. I can't keep up with the finances right now. I'm feeling, really insecure. I'm not sure if I can do this job. I'm not sure if I'm good enough to hang. And it doesn't mean that we're beating ourselves up. It just means that being vulnerable means that we understand where we are and we're not afraid to ask for what we need, and we're not afraid to reveal what's going on inside of us with safe people. And that's the key. Like we need to be around safe people. But a healthy leader who is vulnerable is not afraid to admit their faults and weaknesses. And then if other people point them out, they're able to handle that as well, because it's coming from a place of strength. It's coming from a place of owning your own story, of knowing who you are, of being okay in whatever circumstance, and not being afraid to admit that we don't have it all together right now. We don't have this perfect life that we put out there. Life is hard. Life is a struggle. And it's a really good thing to be able to admit that in a way that is healthy. So what do you guys think? Is there a difference between the vulnerability? How do you feel about revealing parts of yourself to safe people? Does it feel scary, or do you just want to run for the hills? All right. So think about that while you're taking your shower and you're shaving your chin and putting on your makeup. Talk to you later. Have a good day.